Hello, everybody. So we're going to continue with lesson 9.5, Numerical Patterns. We're on page 407 of the 5th grade Go Math textbook. And the essential question that you should be able to answer at the end of the lesson is, how can you identify a relationship between two numerical patterns? All right, so let's look at the unlock the problem. On the first week of school, Joel purchases 2 movies and 6 songs from his favorite media website. If he purchases the same number of movies and songs each week, how does the number of songs purchased compare to the number of movies purchased from one week to the next? All right, so we need to figure out how the songs purchased compared to the number of movies purchased. All right, so how many movies does Joel purchase each week? Well, it says he purchases 2 movies. And then how many songs? It tells us 6 songs each week. All right, so step 1, use the two rules given in the problem to generate the first 4 terms in the sequence for the number of movies and the sequence for the number of songs. So the first term in the sequence is 2, and then every week we add 2 more. So at the end of 2 weeks, he'd have 4. At the end of 3 weeks, he'd have 6. At the end of 6 weeks, he'd have 8, and so on. So we're adding 2 each week, right? And for the number of songs, the first number in the sequence is 6, or the first term is 6. Add 6 for the second week. Add 6 for the third week. Add 6 for the fourth week, and then so on if we continued. So now write the number pairs that relate the number of movies to the number of songs. So in week 1, there was 2 movies, 6 songs. In week 2, there were 4 movies and 12 songs. In week 3, we had 6 movies and 18 songs. And in week 4, there were 8 movies and 24 songs. So for each number pair, compare the number of movies to the number of songs. Write a rule to describe this relationship. And so let's think about this. For each related number pair, the second number is blank times as great as the first. So the first number here is 2. The second number is 6. Well, that's times 3, right? 2 times 3 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 8 times 3 is 24. So the number is 3 times as great as the first number. So the rule, multiply the number of movies by 3 to get the number of songs. So multiply the number of movies by 3 to get the number of songs. So if I told you that he has purchased 10 movies now, how many songs has he purchased? Well, I know I could just multiply the 10 movies by 3. So he has 30 songs. So it's 3 times as many as the number of movies purchased. Okay. All right, here's another example. Page 408. When Alice completes each level in her video game, she wins 3 extra lives and 6 gold coins. What rule can you write to relate the number of gold coins to the number of extra lives? So 3 extra lives, 6 gold coins. How many extra lives will Alice have after she completes 8 levels? So we see here at just starting the game, she has no extra lives. She has no gold coins. At the end of level 1, she has 3 extra lives and 6 gold coins. So what are we doing each time we complete a level? We're adding 3, right? And every time we complete a level, what are we doing for the gold coins? We're going from 0, 6, 6 to 12, 12 to 18. So basically 6 coins, right? Add 6 each time. Now, I can multiply or divide to figure out the pattern for these two things and how they relate. We want to know gold coins to the number of extra lives. So I can multiply the gold coins by half or divide by 2. If I multiply the gold coins by 2 and we're multiplying by 48, then 48 times 1 is 48 divided by 2, which is 24. Okay. So to the left of the table, complete the rule for how you can find the number of extra lives one, which we did. Okay. So let's complete the consecutive terms for this one. So we went from 0 to 3 by adding 3. We went from 3 to 6 by adding 3, 6 to 9 by adding 3, and 9 to 12 by adding 3. So from one level to the next, she wins 3 more extra lives. And for the gold coins, we said that every time she completes a level, she adds 6 more gold coins. So from one level to the next, she wins 6 more gold coins. So now write the number of pairs that relate the number of gold coins to the number of extra lives. Now be careful on this one. So it says gold coins, 2 extra lives. So 6, 3. In level 2, she would have 12 gold coins and 6 extra lives. At level 3, she'd have 18 gold coins to 9 extra lives. And at level 4, she'd have 24 gold coins to 12 extra lives. And then we can complete it, okay? So complete the rule to the right of the table that describes how the pairs are related. Use your rule to find the number of extra lives at level 8. So for each level, the number of extra lives is half as great as the number of gold coins, right? 6 gold coins, 3 extra lives. 12 gold coins, 6. These are all halves. So the rule is multiply the gold coins number of gold coins by 1/2 to get the number of extra lives. So after 8 levels, we said she had 24 extra lives. So multiply the number of gold coins by half to get the number of extra lives. Or you could say divide the number of gold coins by 2. Okay. So either one of those would work. So I'm going to go ahead and write in the other one too. Or divide by 2. All right, so let's do some practice problems. Page 409, number 1. So use the given rules to complete each sequence. Then complete the rule that describes how nickels are related to dimes. So it says here, add 5 for every so if you have 1 nickel, you have 5 cents. If you have 1 dime, you have 10 cents. If you have 2 nickels, you'd have 10 cents. So in other words, we're adding 5 every time we add 1 more nickel, we're adding 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And for dimes, we're adding 10 cents for every coin. that we have that are dimes. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, so what are we doing? We're basically, if we're comparing nickels to dimes, the value of the dimes is 2 times the amount of the nickels. So just multiply by 2. All right, complete the rule that describes how one sequence is related to the other. Use the rule to find the unknown term. All right, so what are we doing here? For the number of books after days, day 1, 3 books. Day 2, 6 books. Day 3, 9 books. Day 4, 12 books. So we're adding 3 books every day. And so that's why 8 times 3 would be 24. The amount spent, one day, $12. Second day, $24. Third day, $36. So basically we're adding $12 every day. And if we're comparing books to the amount spent, what can I multiply the number of books by to find the amount spent? Well, how do you go from 3 to 12? 3 times what equals 12? 6 times what is 24? 9 times what is 36? So on, right? Well, the missing number in all of these is 4. So if you multiply the number of books by $4, you'd find the amount spent. So we can do that for the 8th day. If there's 24 books, I can go 24 times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. Regroup as 1 10 and 6 ones. 4 times 2 tens is 8 tens plus the regroup 10, $96. Okay. Number 3. So they're telling us that we can divide the weight of the bags by something to find the number of marbles. So 30 divided by what is 10? 60 divided by what is 20? 90 divided by what is 30? And so on. Okay. So let's just look here. For every bag, we have 10 marbles. So basically, I would add 10 for every bag of marbles. That's one way to find it, right? If you tell me that I have 12 bags, I know I have to have 120 marbles because 12 times 10 is 120. I can also say, how much are we adding every time we add one bag? Well, we're adding 30 grams. Okay, so 30 times 12 would give me 360. All right, so 30 divided by what is 10? In other words, what's the relationship between the weight of the bags and the marbles? Well, the bags are 3 times as heavy. So if I divide each of these by 3, I'd get the number of marbles. So we can take 360 and divide by 3. So 120. Okay, so divide the weight of the bag by 3 to find the number of marbles is a rule that we could use to solve that table or to find unknown numbers in the table. All right, complete the rule that describes how one sequence is related to the other and use the rule to find the unknown term. So multiply the number of eggs by something to find the number of muffins. So if I multiply 2 times what is 12? 4 times what is 24? Well, 2 times 6 is 12, and 4 times 6 is 24. So if I multiply the number of eggs by 6, I'll find the number of muffins. So you're telling me that I have 18 eggs. I'm going to multiply those 18 eggs by 6. 18 times 6 is 48. Regroup is 4 tens and 8 ones. 6 times 1 10 is 6 tens, plus 4 regrouped is 10. So if you give me 18 eggs, based on this, we should be able to get 108 muffins. All right, number 5. Divide the number of meters by something to find the number of laps. So 1600 divided by something equals 4. Well, remember, 4 is a factor of 1600, so I can actually do 1600 divided by 4 to get the missing number. 4 times 4 is 16. Subtract, we get 0. Bring down the 10s. Bring down the 1s. So 400. So 1600 divided by 400 is 4. 3200 divided by 400 is 3200. So if we divide the number of meters by 400, we'll find the number of laps. So 6400 divided by 400. Okay, well, we know a number that ends in zeros. We can eliminate that same number of zeros in the divisor. So there's 2 zeros in the dividend, so I can eliminate 2 zeros from the divisor. Basically, I'm dividing by 100. Okay, simplifying by 100. So 64 divided by 4. And 24 divided by 4 is 6. So 16. And I can check just to make sure that the pattern is fitting. 4 laps plus 4 laps plus 4 laps plus 4 laps. Yep. All right, number 6. Suppose the number of eggs used in exercise 4 is changed to 3 eggs for each batch of 12 muffins. Well, in that case, we're saying 3 times what is 12? 4. So the number of eggs, rather than multiplying by 6, we'd have to multiply by 4. So 48 eggs times 4. 8 times 4 is 32. Regroup as 3 tens and 2 ones. 4 times 4 tens is 16, plus the 3 regrouped tens is 19. So we make 192 muffins. Oh, how many batches? To figure out the number of batches, we have 48 eggs, right? And we use 3 eggs per batch. So take the number of eggs and divide by 3. 3 times what is 18? 6. So we'd have 16 batches, 192 muffins. Right, 410. Number 7. Emily has a road map with a key that shows an inch on the map equals 5 miles of equal distance. An inch, 5 miles. She will drive on 2 roads to get to the beach. One road is 7 inches long. The other road is 5 inches long. What is the actual distance Emily will drive to the beach? And write the rule you use to find the actual distance. So I can take the one road is 7 inches. Well, for every inch on the map, it's 5 miles in real life. And the other road was 5 inches, so 5 times 5. And that'll give me the actual distance. Okay, so 7 inches times 5 miles, 5 miles per inch, and 5 inches times 5. So we get 35 for the one road plus 25 for the other road. And 35 and 25, well, 5 and 5 is 10, right? And 30 and 20 is 50, so 60. 60 miles. What was the rule we used? It would be the distance on the map distance on the map multiplied by 5. All right, number 8. To make a shade of lavender paint, John mixes 4 ounces of red tint and 28 ounces of blue tint into 1 gallon of white paint. All right, so for every 1 gallon of paint, it takes 4 ounces of red and 28 ounces of blue to make lavender. If 20 gallons of white paint and 80 ounces of red tint are used, how much blue tint should be added? Write a rule that you can use to solve this problem. All right, so four ounces red tint to 28 ounces of blue tint for 1 gallon of white. All right. So what is the relationship between the red and the blue? How do you go from 4 ounces to 28 ounces? So 4 times what is 28? 4 times 7. So if I multiply red by 7, that'll tell me the number of ounces of blue tint. So if they're saying 80 ounces, I can multiply the 80 by 7. And 7 times 8 tenths is 56 tenths, 560. 560 ounces of blue tint. So multiply ounces of red tint by 7. All right, number 9. In the cafeteria, tables are arranged in groups of 4, with each table seating 8 students. How many students can sit at 10 groups of tables? And write the rule you use to find the number of students. All right, so we can complete a table, right? So at one group, we would have 4 tables. And the number of students would be 32. So one group, 4 tables, 32 students. If I had 2 groups, I'd have 8 tables, and I would have 64 students. If I had 3 groups, I would have 12 tables, and I'd have 96 students. So we can continue this pattern out to 10 groups. So what is the relationship? For every group, I multiply the number of groups by 4 to get the number of tables. So 10 times 4, I'd have 40 tables. And then what's the relationship between the number of tables and students? Well, it's 8 per table. So 40 times 8, 320 students. Or multiply the number of groups by 32. Because if I have one group, I had 32 students. If I have two groups, I have 64 students. So I could say 10 times 32. Okay, so either way. And finally, number 10, Jesse made a table to show how many miles the runners ran. Day 1, we had 4 runners and they ran 12 miles. Day 2, we had 8 runners and they ran 24 miles. So what is the relationship between the number of runners and the number of miles? So we had 4 more runners each day. Okay, and so each of those runners each will run 3 miles. 4 times 3 is 12, 8 times 3 is 24, 12 times 3 is 36, so on. So 20 times 3 is 60. So the unknown number in day 5 is 60. And what is the rule that we're using? Well, we multiplied the number of runners by 3. Okay. All right, so that's it for numerical patterns. In our next lesson, we'll be working some more on finding rules and using patterns. So until then, I will see you soon.